Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to the World of Wrestling Podcast. Here today to discuss about the AEW All Out 2025 review. My thoughts on AEW Dynamite All Out was actually, I was impressed with it. I know I talk a lot of shit about AEW's week-to-week televised shows, but this pay-per-view was well worth the purchase. It was fun, and it was enjoyable. Good wrestling all around. There were some stories that were actually told, believe it or not, which blew me the fuck away. And I just thought that this pay-per-view event was well worth the purchase and gave people a lot of enjoyment but it was too long. Again, they continuously keep giving us way too much wrestling in one pay-per-view event. So, let's kickstart the show with the Adam Copeland, Christian Cage versus FTR. The show kicks off with this, and on top of it, they had an interesting walk through the backstage, and they were having conversation with Canadian celebrities that I've never heard of before. It was kind of funny. Christian was actually the funniest of it all. I think Christian playing an asshole has been fantastic as a babyface, and he's just been downright hilarious. The two gel very well together, even after all these years. And this match was fun. I loved this match. Adam Copeland and Christian Cage win. FTR lose the matchup. I think the ending was a little, not that great. I would say that's the one criticism about this match that kind of sucked. But the rest of it overall was very entertaining and good shit. I give this a 3.5 stars out of 5. Definitely. Next we had Eddie Kingston against Big Bill in a one-on-one match. This match really did not. It was good, but then the ending his spinning back fist just was terrible by Eddie Kingston to Big Bill. It did not even barely connect. Even the announcers were saying that this was, he didn't look like he had a full connection with it, yet he wins the match. It looked botched as shit. I give it a 2.5 out of 5 stars. Mark Briscoe and MJF went at it one-on-one in a tables and tax match. This was fucking brutal. Mark Briscoe ends up winning this match. I thought MJF was going to win this, but he ends up losing the match to Mark Briscoe. And that is that. Match-wise, it was very hardcore. I will give them that. That's the one problem about AEW, though. They do way too much blood, too much hardcore wrestling. I feel like I'm watching ECW instead of AEW. So, match though wasn't bad. I give it a 3 out of 5 stars. Pretty much. Next we had a trios tag team match with the new name for this team is called The Demand with Ricochet, Bishop Khan, and Tua Leona, defeating the Hurt Syndicate of Bobby Lashley, Shelton Benjamin, and MVP. And actually, MVP is the one that took the L here. My thoughts on them losing? I don't know. I guess that's part of, to extend the storyline. That's where I would think this is going. Match was average. I'd say I'd give it a 3 out of 5 stars. It was average. Next, we had Mercedes Moné defending her TBS Women's Championship against Riho. Obviously, Mercedes Moné wins the matchup. And it was a fair, okay matchup, I thought. I didn't think it was a terrible match. And I'm going to give this a 3.5 stars out of 5. Next, we have Okada, Takeshita, and Masakura Dorada in a three-way match for the AEW Unified Championship. This match was good. I mean, good because they were really telling the story between Okada and Takeshita still. And they had some issues after the match was over. So, I think this was pretty darn good because of story. I think that is where you want to see in a wrestling match. So, good on them. Okada wins. I give it a 3.5 stars out of 5. Next, we had Jon Moxley going up against Darby Allin in a coffin match. This was fucking brutal. This was a very good matchup. For a hardcore match, they did some really good shit. Jon Moxley ends up winning the match thanks to the help of the returning Pac. Pac ends up helping him win this matchup. Darby was extremely close of closing out the victory, but Jon Moxley ends up screwing him with Pac's help, and Jon Moxley ends up taking the W here. This is a 4 out of 5 stars. Yes, it was hardcore wrestling, but also it was really good work by both these guys. You could feel the intensity between the two of these guys, and especially afterwards, later on in the show, Darby Allin literally attacks Jon Moxley while he's inside the coffin because I think Jon Moxley was going to light the coffin on fire or something. And so he goes ahead, wakes up, gets out of the coffin with a pipe in his hand. I think he had the pipe in his hand at the time. I'm not sure. That might have been a logic gap there. Hopefully they did, because that would have made a lot of sense why he had it. But he gets out of the coffin and starts beating the shit out of him with it, and then lights Jon Moxley on fire while he's inside of a body bag, the same one that Darby Allin was in after Pac put him in it. So that was pretty fucking crazy too. But yeah, this match 4 out of 5 stars easily. Next, we had the AEW Women's World Championship match with Timeless Toni Storm, Chris Statlander, Jamie Hayter, and Tekla. This wasn't a bad match, very short though. It was about 12 minutes long, and Chris Statlander ends up becoming the new Women's World Champion. Surprise to everyone. This was a shocker, but was the action as good as the other matches I've mentioned before this? Not exactly. It was pretty average. I give it a 3 out of 5 stars. But good work overall by all 4 women, and a surprise victory. Chris Statlander, I don't know what they're doing with her. I don't know if Wheeler Yuta got involved in this match too, trying to recruit Chris Statlander early on in the match, but I don't know. It's kind of weird. Next, we had Brodito with Brody King and Bandino defending the AEW Tag Team titles in a Fatal 4-Way ladder match. We have the Young Bucks, Jet Speed, and we have Don Callis family with Josh Alexander and Hector Cero. This was a pretty fun ladder match. Typical shit, though. Nothing really special came out of this. And I will say that this was fair. I give it a 3.5 out of 5 stars. Good action overall. And the tag team champions retained their tag team titles, believe it or not. I thought the Young Bucks were going to walk away with this one. But that was not the case. Apparently they might win it in a one-on-one match at some point, or tag team match, I should say, but whatever. So, next we had Hangman Page defending the AEW World Championship against Kyle Fletcher in the main event of this pay-per-view. And I will say, Kyle Fletcher lived up to the expectations of this match. 38 minutes in, this match went. Damn. Kyle Fletcher was impressive. I love this dude. I think he's an outstanding performer for AEW. He's one of the young stars I think should be a world champion later on in the future, and he's definitely a star. There's no doubt about it, especially after this matchup that he had with Hangman Page was impressive. I absolutely love the work he put into this match, and he looked good. His presentation in this match, his performance, all that jazz, whatever way you want to put it, was fantastic. He did excellent work here, and he put in the work heavily. He earned my respect. I think he earned everyone else's respect who watched him in this matchup. Despite the loss, he still looked good in defeat. Hangman Page walks away with the W and still remains the AEW World Champion to no one's surprise. I'm giving this a 4.5 out of 5 stars. This was a very, very good matchup, but very predictable. That's the problem where I have with this main event. Excluding all of that, this pay-per-view was a very solid, fun, entertaining show. Not one match was under a 3, except for the Kingston and Big Bill match. That was kind of a letdown. But overall, this was a very, very fun, entertaining show, and I have no complaints whatsoever, and the money I put in to spend it was well worth every penny. So, at this time, guys, you know what to do. Hit the like button if you like this video. Hit the subscribe button if you're not already subscribed to the channel, and leave a comment down below. I'll definitely get back to you on that. Thank you guys very much for watching, and I'll be back soon with the WWE WrestlePalooza 2025 review coming up next.